I feel like as a culture, we have become completely inured to lying. Whether it be from politicians, I did not have sexual relations with that woman. I am one of the smartest people I know. Or from YouTube influencers. Oh my god, no, I didn't have any work done. I'm drinking a lot of water and getting a lot of extra rest, but thanks for noticing. Lying has almost become taken for granted in our culture. But what is that doing to us, both on a personal and on a societal level? We need to start living in a way that has a lot of integrity. A way where we are faithful to ourselves, to what we mean, and to what we say to others. Because speaking our truth truly should be a non-negotiable. So hey, if we haven't met before, my name is Kaelan. I am an ecstatic life coach. I host this YouTube channel where we explore the intersection of spirituality, meditation, sex and sexuality, living authentically, being a little crazy, and boldly proclaiming your truth. I've written a couple books, and I coach people around the world on these topics. So our naked truth. Now, I don't know about you, but I find it pretty easy in today's culture to just go along with the flow and say what people want to hear. Whether those people are our loved ones, our partners, our employers, our friends. To just say, oh yeah, sorry, I was really busy last night, that's why I didn't call. When in actuality, I mean, I don't like you very much and I would prefer it if you left me alone. Society makes it so easy for us to just say the thing that is expected of us rather than our truth. Well, I said that it would be easy for me to do, but actually it isn't. One of my personal things in this world is that whenever I lie, I get incredibly uncomfortable. Like my skin starts to itch and I get this belly ache and this chest pain. Like it feels physically not well within me when I try to lie. My husband often jokes, he's like, you're like the Aes Sedai from The Wheel of Time, the wonderful book series and now TV show on Amazon, who are magically bound to not be able to tell a lie, but the truth you say isn't always the truth you think you hear. He laughs that I'm very good at speaking my truth, but I sometimes skirt around a little bit the intent. But where that comes from is this really strong desire that any word I utter, I can stand behind. That if I'm going to speak something out loud, I want to fully believe it. Because we are constantly creating our own reality. We create this reality first by our thoughts, second by our words, and third, by our actions. Everything we think, everything we say, everything we do sends out ripples around us that causes new things to emerge in the cosmos, new actions, new ideas, new interactions, new happenings. And pretty much every esoteric path, whether we're looking at Eastern yogic or tantric traditions or Western occult traditions, eventually has you get to a point where you're aware that you are the creator of your reality, and every action, thought, or word you put into existence sends out a ripple, sends out a vibration that will manifest your reality. This is why almost every mystical tradition encourages people to meditate, to chant, to think positive thoughts or no thoughts at all, ideally, because thoughts and words have power. And because whether we realize it or not, every word we speak is a choice. We could keep silent. It has even more power than thoughts to manifest the world, to manifest our known universe. Several faith traditions agree. In the beginning there was the word, or there was the thought. And from that thought or that word or that idea sprang forth the myriad of galaxies and universes, including the one we currently live in. Some actually theorize that every thought, every action we undertake spins off a mirrored reality, an alternative reality that takes on a life of its own. And some time ago, I started to realize that when I lied, when I spoke a falsehood, not only did it make me feel bad, but it made me start to doubt my trust in myself. Because if I say something, if I tell myself something like, I'm going to go to the store today, and it proves to not be true, either intentionally or I just didn't get around to it, eventually my body starts to know, I can't trust you. In the same way that if you have a friend who says, hey, I'm going to meet you for dinner, and every time they flake, you stop trusting them. You build resentment towards them. You put up a shell, a wall, a container to protect yourself from them. You will start doing this to yourself. And the end product is if you keep lying to yourself, eventually you won't like yourself very much. And this is where I believe we have to buck the trend that we see in the media, on social media, in our families, of skirting around how we really feel and lean into the discomfort. Own up to our shortcomings, own up to our mistakes, and say the uncomfortable thing. I took it as a compliment that one of my friends said to me. They're like, I have to reprogram my brain that when I talk to you, that if you tell me something, you actually mean it. Like when somebody else calls and says, hey, the weather's bad, I'm worried about you driving, maybe we should reschedule. I don't have to interpret that as being, hey, I don't want to see you, let's do something different. You actually meant it, and how uncommon that is. But for me, it just makes sense. For me, it just makes sense to live as honest and as truthful of a life I can. And in those instances where speaking my objective truth as I'm experiencing it is painful, I try to say something that is honest, but maybe avoiding the difficult confrontation. A typical one is when people message me with things like, oh, I would love to get to hook up with you. I don't want to make them feel bad. I'll often reply with things like, that could be fun. But the truth is, right? Like, could that be? Potentially, it could be. Do I want to do it? No, I don't want to do it. But I'm also not going to insult you. Oof, I'm giving away all my secrets here. So that could be fun. I feel good about the response. It's being true. It could be. But it's also me just kind of saying my truth without hurting their feelings. Now, could I do even better and probably say thank you so much? I'm really not interested, but I appreciate the sentiment. Probably good. But we do the best we can. And so this is my encouragement to you. How can you make the choice to speak your truth more often to more people? To build that integrity with yourself, that you start to believe and trust yourself, that you begin to believe and trust what you have to say, that you can own your naked truth, showing up vulnerably, authentically, and letting go of shame around who you are and what you're feeling. Can you become the kind of person that you would be proud to be? And personally, that's a truthful person to me. It's a person who can stand behind whatever it is they say. So will you join me in honoring and speaking your naked truth? I'm Kaelan. This is Ecstatic Self. Thank you for your time, and thank you to my patrons who make this possible. Blessings to you.